Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It is Transformation Tuesday, and we are so excited to have the founders of Be the Wellness. It's a personal coaching company, Adam and Vanessa Lambert. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks
So
for having
nice
us.
to meet you guys. You
Yes.
guys are glowing this morning.
Oh, Erin, they're known as the Paleo power couple. Okay.
Right?
So take us back, if you can, to how this whole thing started, how the company started, how you guys started.
Well,
Big question.
well, it's always a
to
question
start.
of how far back do we go?
Yeah.
But we got introduced to the kind of paleo nutrition space accidentally by training with Rob Wolf, who's kind of popular in that world. When we lived in Northern California, we trained at his gym for a period of time and got introduced to the way of living and saw some pretty significant changes in our health. Vanessa's mostly right out the gate with allergies and stuff like that are super kind of noticeable. And then, over time, it morphed into me training there at the gym and then coaching at the gym and then really kind of taking that role on. And then moving to LA, and then we had like a perfect connection with Mark Sisson, who obviously the kind of the other side of that initial primal paleo founder group, and Vanessa started working for him. And
Big shout out to El Russ. We love you.
Yes, absolutely.
Primal
We're connected.
Blueprint podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Super connector, especially in the paleo community. So how has this way of life transformed you?
Well, I think for me personally, there were just little things that I was suffering from that you don't really notice. You just kind of think, oh, this is normal. Adam mentioned allergies. I had really bad seasonal allergies. And you just think, oh, that's normal. I'm just a kind of person who has to take Zyrtec or, some kind of allergy medication. I also had some skin blemishes, just some little things that you just think, oh, it's not related to my diet. But then when I started to eliminate, grains and dairy and some of these things, they immediately subsided. So you just started to notice that, overall your inflammation levels in your body just go down and you just feel better. You sleep better, you look better, everything just kind of settles in.
It's amazing when you actually start to feel better. You realize how off you actually felt.
Exactly.
How uncomfortable
Can
you
you
really
tell
were.
people like what a paleo diet is? For anyone that's watching, they maybe have heard of it, but they don't really know what that is.
Yeah, for sure. So the baseline is removing grains, dairy, and legumes from your diet for the most part, which is pretty broad once you start breaking into that, right? I mean, that's bread, that's beans, it's all of these things. It's a lot, and it's a lot of the things that are quote unquote healthy in sort of the common vernacular around diet and nutrition, right? So there's definitely some well, it's not really controversy, but there's some like, oh, you can't take my sandwiches, it's like, I can't take my bread, how would I eat a sandwich?
Right.
And it's definitely evolved over time to be a little more lenient on things like legumes as we understand a little bit more about the anti-nutrient qualities or supposed anti-nutrient qualities of some of this stuff. But yeah, that's the gist of it, and then the rest becomes kind of more around lifestyle. It's like, what are we doing on a daily basis that we can do to sort of emulate the way that we evolved, right? So sleeping, getting some outdoor sunlight, moving, drinking water, that kind of stuff.
It's so interesting. It's such an interesting thing because you've got the vegans and you have the paleos and you have and I believe that every person deserves to have their own expression in
Yes,
that.
of
But for
course.
you guys, you're also taking people through retreats. It's a whole lifestyle around it. So tell us about what that looks like.
Yeah, for us, it's because paleo is more than just a diet to us. It really is a lifestyle. And Adam mentioned, getting sunlight, getting sleep, getting all of these things that are important to our vitality. For us, the next sort of obvious step was to get people out doing amazing things, using their health and vitality. Because I think often we get stopped on, oh, I want to get healthy, but what are you getting healthy for? What are you doing with it? And we always say, what mountain do you want to climb, or what river do you want to raft? What do you want to do with your health and vitality? So the next obvious step for us was to start taking people on these adventures all around the world. So
To be the wellness.
yes, exactly. So
Where are you taking taking these people on these Be Wellness epic adventures.
Yeah, we go to Costa Rica. We're actually getting ready to take a group on an African safari in just about a month. We're going to New Zealand next year. We just hiked a 10-day, we hiked the Salcantay Trail to Machu Picchu in Peru a couple of months ago.
Well, that'll transform anybody from the inside out. Machu Picchu Trail.
But this is genius because you're helping people during that. They're eating paleo the whole time. So over probably a week or two, they're just the whole thing. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, this is just easy." Whereas you try and change your diet and your regular lifestyle, and it's hard at first. So great way to get them out of there.
Yeah, 100%. And then the other thing we find is that people who, especially when they first start, there's a lot. They need some support in this, right? And to help make these changes in their life. And so going on vacation becomes difficult because everybody knows, you go on vacation and you put on 10 pounds, right? And it's something that's a problem we really tried to solve for folks. So if you're on a paleo diet or if you're exploring that and you want to go on a vacation and do something super awesome with like-minded people and know that the food's going to be on point, that's kind of what we're doing.
Then we're here. We're here for you. Yeah.
I love that. And a huge part of making changes, sort of making it automatic at some point in time.
Right.
Can you talk just a little bit about that? How do people change habits? What have you learned about changing or starting new positive habits that's really worked for people?
Yeah, we really encourage people to tackle one thing at a time. I think a lot of people get overwhelmed if they try to change too many things at once. So, it's about just finding one or two things that you can tackle each day and really integrating those into your lifestyle. And then once those things are set, you can start to add on a new habit or a new behavior. And for us, personally and for our clients, we've seen that that's just the most sustainable route to really changing things long term.
And there's something to be said about recognizing that you're not going to be perfect too. Because
Yes.
when I try and change a habit and then I fall back into the old ways, I think, oh, I'm not going to do this or that. And then I do it. And I'm still mad at myself. And I think, well, I can't do
Forget
it
it.
anyway. Forget it. It wasn't even worth trying.
Yes.
But I really think it's important to just forgive yourself. And be like,
Yes.
look, I'm going to allow myself not to be perfect in this and to just keep moving forward.
Yes, you always only have your next decision to make. And I think people get, they go down the rabbit hole. Like you said, you just throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. And it's like, you just have your next decision to make. And whatever that is, just make it to the best of your ability and then move on.
Love that.
Yeah.
So I had the honor of being a guest
Yes.
on your podcast,
Yeah.
which was just an extraordinary experience for me. You guys just excel in that space. I feel like you're great. You ask great questions, you're great listeners, but you also provide incredible information. Can you tell us a little bit about the podcast?
Yeah, well, the podcast is really a labor of love, and as you know, communicating with people, being in conversation is a real passion for us, and we find, especially in this day and age where we're all so connected via our cell phones or text messaging, to actually drop in and have conversation with people is so special, and you really feel that. You feel that kind of flow state that you take on when you're really connecting with people via conversation. So for us, it's just really a special thing that we get to do.
It is kind of funny thing about today's world. It's like we're all online. The only time we can actually get together is like on our podcast or a show.
But can we just talk?
Hilarious,
Yeah.
right? But you
Yeah.
guys are like a power couple. It's really cool, and I think some
thank
people
you.
are, probably very inspired. Let's not say envious. They're inspired
Thank
by
you.
what you guys are doing together. So keep up the great work.
Thank you.
and
Thank
look
you. We
forward
hope
to-
so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having
Tell
us.
people where they can find your podcast and follow your journey.
Yeah, so BeTheWellness.com, and it's BEE like a honeybee, so BEETHEWELLNESS.com. And it's also Be the Wellness Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, all the things.
Instagram, all the things. Yeah. Be the
Cool.
wellness.
Well, we talked all things transformation, so we already know what transformation you guys went through. So
Yes.
you answered that question.
Yes.
Stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back.